The first move that I made of 2025 I actually made this morning on the toilet, as most moves are made, and I sold my shares of Capcom because although I love Capcom, I'm a big fan of horror games, and Resident Evil is like numero uno in my opinion. Silent Hill's great as well. Anyway, you don't care. Capcom. I sold it, although I love it, because it was making me a smaller percentage of return than some of my other positions. I don't have many positions now. I believe I only have 5. But I sold my Capcom shares and I reinvested into Kodak because I personally think Kodak is going to take off. Some reasons that I think that Kodak is going to take off are the fact that they're making new film cameras. They started making new film cameras. I don't know if you've seen this, you heard about this, but they're making new film cameras, which is like, what? That's crazy. And on top of that, I've been shooting 35 mil. I've been enjoying it. I think a lot of people are kind of romanticizing that analog experience now in this digital age. So personally, I think film is making a strong comeback. 35 mil is the way to go. Polaroids are cute, but they're so expensive. Next up, I'm going to talk about Pokemon. I know half of you are probably like, why? That's not an investment. And the other half of you are like, yes, this is what I'm here for. But Pokemon has actually made me a decent amount of money. I've bought a handful of different boxes. I have a video on one of my channels where I purchased Japanese booster boxes like 3 or 4 years ago during the Pokemon boom of 2020. And those boxes like quadrupled, 5x'd in price. So quintupled, is that what it is? 5x'd in price. So it's pretty insane. Now, not everything is 5x'd in price, but you can make money on Pokemon. So yeah, I'm investing in it. I think, when I'm out there buying cards, I see kids still going and buying Pokemon cards. It's not just old geezers like myself. So it's cool. So yeah, I like investing in Pokemon. The hardest part about investing in Pokemon, though, is along with making the proper decisions and buying the proper products, which I'm going to tell you what to buy or what I would buy. I can't give you financial advice, but what I would buy in just a second. But yeah, the hardest part, aside from picking the right thing to invest in with Pokemon products, is remembering that it's an investment, because there's a lot of times where that line gets blurred, especially when you start collecting on your own. I have a personal collection, and it's very easy to start blurring the lines of what you want to open, what you want to keep sealed, what you bought initially to keep sealed, and now you want to open, and vice versa. So if you're good at budgeting, maybe I would recommend making a budget for yourself, because that could be beneficial if that's your thing. As far as Pokemon investments go, this is what I would invest in. And you might want to mark some of these on your calendars, but Best Buy is doing a release of the Blooming Waters Premium Collection box, which is a Pokemon 151 expansion box. That's coming out soon. That should be released on the 7th of February. Also, on the 7th of February, GameStop is releasing the same box. Blooming Waters is being released at GameStop on the 7th of February. Also, on the 7th of February, the Blooming Waters is being released at Costco. So they're all releasing on the 7th of February. Mark it down. I've got it marked down on the 6th, because that's when you gotta show up to the store with your tent, right? So don't mark it down on the 7th on your calendar. Mark it down on like the 5th, so you can get your butt there with the tent and sit out there. Because nowadays, here's the thing. I know people don't like this, but nowadays you have to be a scalper. You have to show up to Walmart on the stocking day early and get in line just to reserve yourself a couple packs just for you to rip. Like, let alone trying to invest and sell. If you just want to be a guy that likes opening Pokemon, or a girl that likes opening Pokemon, you almost have to resort to like scalper tactics these days. I will throw a picture on screen. I went to Target today, and my goodness, it was empty. And normally the Target has some stuff. This was empty. I haven't seen it like this since I was standing in line at Walmart at like 4 in the morning in 2020. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. People are going nuts. People are loving Surging Sparks. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, another date to mark on your calendar aside from February 7th is April 18th. That is when the Glory of Team Rocket set is allegedly releasing. I believe it's expected to release in Japan before the United States. I think that's how that works with Pokemon. I'm hyped for this. I haven't seen anything from it yet. I haven't seen any cards, but I'm so hyped for it. Allegedly, they're not bringing back Dark Pokemon. That's what I've heard, but it would be so sick if they did. That's the first set that I'm about to complete. I have my last card in the mail. It's coming. It's funny. It's called Here Comes Team Rocket or something, and it's coming. That's the last card I have, and it's going to be the first Pokemon set that I've ever completed. I'm very stoked. But yeah, Team Rocket, that set, I love that set. About to complete it. Dark Pokemon, they're dope. It's all dope. April 18th, check that out because I feel like everybody is going to be super hyped on that. Pokemon 151, Crown Zenith, the last of the yellow borders, and now Glory to Team Rocket. I feel like those are the three strongest sets that I personally would invest in. People are loving Surging Sparks, but honestly, after 2020 and seeing what has happened with Shining Fates, where people can love something and then the Pokemon company is just like, oh, we need to print more, and then all of a sudden it becomes valueless and you can't even give it away. I feel like that could happen. Now, obviously, it's not yet, but I'm trying to not go crazy and want to buy a bunch of Terrastal Festival booster boxes and Surging Sparks ETBs. I'm trying to not go crazy and get distracted on that, and I'm trying to keep my eyes on the prize, which to me is 151. Crown Zenith, I'm pretty much, I got 15 booster bundles. That's it. I'm done. If I can find more, great. If not, whatever. 151, Blooming Waters, and Glory to the Glory of Team Rocket on April 18th. That is what I think I should put my money in. Sorry if I'm rambling or I'm repeating myself. And now I'm just going to talk about some singles that have piqued my interest real quick as far as Pokemon goes. I feel like this Mewtwo right here, this V-Star, is it's expensive. Yes, it's $38.45, give or take, around there. You can find it on eBay for around $30, actually. I've seen them for $30, the Japanese version this is. But, yeah, although it's kind of expensive, it's a little pricey, it's not nearly as pricey as a lot of other cards. And quite frankly, I think that this art is a lot doper than a lot of other cards. I think this is one of the coolest artworks that I've seen in a long time. So, in my opinion, for that reason alone, there are other factors that I should consider, like pop rate and how, easy the pull, like all that stuff. But just based off of those criteria, I really like this card, and I think that for $30, I would get it. Again, $30 is on eBay. This says $39, but $30 to $40, I feel like this could be like a $150 card. Another card I'm really liking is this Groudon, this Japanese Groudon from Raging Surf. This card is about $10. I think that is pretty good considering that this is, again, one of my favorite artworks that I've seen in a while. I really enjoy it, really like it. Personally, for $10, I think it's a steal. Now, with singles, I feel like it's a lot more speculative. With booster boxes, you're always selling the dream. You're always selling the what if my chase card is in the box. So that always is going to hold value. When you're selling this card, when you're buying this card, when you're investing in this card, that's a lot more speculative. However, I do feel like for how cool the artwork is compared to some other cards, I feel like this is worth more than 10 based on that. But that's just my opinion. Curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. And the last one, I actually bought the Japanese version for myself, but this one is the Magnemite, and I think that this for $6, $5-6, it's a steal. It's another steal. I love how prominently shown Surge is, Lieutenant Surge, and for that reason, I really do think that for $6, this is a card that's underrated, but I feel like I feel like nobody talks about this card. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this card, but I like it. I like it a lot, and I was surprised to find out that it was only $6. So let me know your thoughts about that. I'm curious to hear what you think of this card. But yeah, that's it as far as Pokemon goes. As far as other investments go, I would say that I am looking into maybe pulling the trigger on Airbnb, but I do kind of like having a small portfolio. It's a little bit riskier, But as far as my stocks go, having only like 5 positions, it's a lot less to manage. I don't know. I feel like I'm just making excuses. It's not a lot to. You don't do anything with stocks. It's not too much to manage anyway, because all the stuff I'm buying is bear markets. Like, I'm trying to hold this stuff long term. I'm not super into the day to day. So unless there's big news on a company, I guess you know, if you're a bear investor, you probably could invest in more stocks, and it would be a lot safer to hold on to them long term, arguably. But yeah, that's it for the video. 2025, I've bought Kodak because film cameras are popping off. The Pokemon is something that I'm investing in because not only is it showing the fact that it's really selling out on the shelves, but the 30th anniversary is coming up, and I think that is going to increase people's attention on it. And yeah, I just think that stocks and Pokemon are what I'm in right now. If I have more money, I would invest in real estate, and I'm looking to do that as well in the future. But right now, this is what I got going for early 2025. Let me know your investments in the comments. I'm curious to hear what your plays are, what you're thinking about. None of this is financial advice. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.